All right, everybody, welcome back. This is season 7 of Stream Like a Boss TV, and I am super excited that I get a chance to be with you this evening. So, here's the thing, if you've been pouring hours into trying to look perfect online, but you're just not seeing the growth or the income that you expected, then this live stream is going to be your wake up call. Tonight, we're going to talk about why perfection, yes, perfection, the perfection trap, is the thing that is hurting your content and what you can do instead to start attracting loyal fans and paying clients, by the way. All right, folks, welcome to Stream Like a Boss TV. I'm Tanya Smith, your host, and this is where we help service providers, content creators, coaches to go from crickets to clients using live streams and video strategy that actually works. So I've told you who I am. I want to know who you are. I already see some folks that are showing up in the comments, and I am thrilled that I get a chance to say hello again because it's been a couple of weeks. We had to take a little hiatus between our season 6 and our season 7, and for some personal reasons, which I'll touch on a little bit. But now that I've told you who I am, let me know who you are. I see a few folks who have put into the comments already, hashtag OG. So let us know where you're turning or tuning in from. Type your city in the chat and let us know if you're a hashtag newbie, if this is your first time ever watching the show, and a hashtag OG would identify you as family. You came back. For some reason, you're back and you're watching and joining the show with us. So I want to see who you are and I want to acknowledge you in the comments. Now, we are broadcasting right now in a couple of different places. So we're broadcasting live on YouTube, LinkedIn. We're actually on Facebook tonight, yes. And we're on Substack as well. So I'll be watching for my folks that are in the Substack chat because we're still fairly new over there. But YouTube is our happy place. So if you want to join us over on the YouTube channel, then just go to youtube.com at Tanya Smith. That's where I'm located there. All right, here's what I want to encourage you to do. Grab your favorite cup of hydration, your notepad and a pen, because tonight we're going to talk about tips to help you to get over this whole perfection trap. And yes, I'm going to share some real live stories and some transparency around the perfection thing because it's a bug, it's a disease, right, that many of us have. But we need to overcome that in order to be consistent so that we can then build more community. So I will check in and see you on the other side of this short video. I see some folks that are popping in already. So hello to you, ma'am, sir, all of you who are here, no matter the age, gender, all of the things, right? I love that you're here. And I'm super excited to talk to you about perfection because that trap can actually be something you fall into no matter what your demographic. All right? Okay, other side of this very short video, we'll be back and we'll dive into the content. And I have to say hello to some folks. I see Marcia. I see Tech Troublemaker in the house. Roy Richardson, of course. I see the Dr. Vibe Show. Love it. I'm seeing all of you there. And then I see a few folks over on Substack as well. So Unbroken Growth. Love that name. And then Charlotte Henley Babb. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. So if you're new, if this is your first time ever, I want you to type in a hashtag newbie. And if you've been here before, you type in hashtag OG. That's how we roll. Okay? Your family, if you've ever been here before, even if you watched us once. So make sure you go ahead and put that in the chat and we'll acknowledge you. I will see you on the other side of this short video and we will dive into our main content topic. Okay? Alrighty, folks. So first of all, again, welcome to season 7. Yes, it's season 7, y'all. And we're going to have I think I'm doing 7 episodes for every season from here through the end of this year. So we still have all the way through season 10 to go in the year 2025. I'm super excited about that. And look, we're going to be talking about the authenticity advantage. That's the focus of season 7. So everything I'm going to be covering with you for the next 6 episodes plus this one, that's 7 because it's the number of completion. We're going to be talking about being authentic. We're going to be talking about your brand. Look, some of you don't know this, but I actually started as a personal branding coach. Like that was my thing. And the name of my business starting out was Be Promotable. And we still to this day need to look at ourselves as someone who is effective because we are promoting and we are confident about ourselves and we are getting over the things like perfection that tend to be roadblocks from us being able to get our message out to the people who need us the most. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The boss topic for today is talking about why perfection is hurting your content and what you can do instead to attract loyal fans and clients. So very thrilled. Thank you for the hearts that I'm seeing over there on Substack. I appreciate you so much. Dr. Vibe Show, of course. I see that you said, do I qualify as an OG? Hold on. Let me pop this in here. Absolutely. Not only are you a person who is showing up consistently, but you also have been a guest on my show, Midlife Unmuted, which is coming out real soon. So super thrilled to see you here. Marcia Baker, Tech Troublemaker said, let's go. Yes, y'all, we are in the house tonight. So just know we're here to talk about imperfection and perfection. And which of those two things do we tend to embrace? And I am, like I said, going to share some transparency with you and some stories because this isn't something that's just a one-time thing. The idea of being bitten by this perfection bug, right? It's not something that you just get over and now you no longer ever have to deal with it. No, it's something that you probably are going to face multiple times in your career. Multiple. And again, this goes to any age, any gender, any demographic, you're going to be faced with this issue because many of us want to show up. We're not going to say we want to be perfect, but we'll say things like, I need all the things to be right, right? We're going to say some things. In fact, let's dive into tip number one. Let's dive into tip number one. I'm going to do that first. And by the way, I am live. So if you have questions about anything relative to this topic, and if you have questions about live streaming, pop those in the chat too, because that's what I'm here for, is to help you to do better with and to improve your live streaming presence, your video podcast presence. Anytime you're showing up on camera, if I can help you, then I will, okay? See me as your coach, video coach Tanya, all right? Even if it's just for tonight, for the next hour. All right, let's go. And if you do have a question over in Substack, I'm watching there as well, y'all, okay? I don't have the comments connected tonight, but I can if I need to. All right, let's dive into tip number one, or point number one, which is this. And I really want you to hear me on this. Actually, before I even get into this, let me dive a little bit deeper into why this matters, because this is one thing I love to do when we do these streams, specifically when I'm talking about soft skills and competencies and ways to improve yourself personally, that personal growth thing. It's important for you to understand why this should matter to you. Why is this stream one that you want to watch and stay till the end for? Here's the reason. A lot of you are entrepreneurs, if not all of you, because that's who I tend to talk to. As an entrepreneur, what we tend to do is we hold ourselves back because we're waiting for the right time. But here's the truth. A lot of times done is better than perfect. When you show up consistently, even imperfectly, that's what's going to create the growth. I've seen some people with some really ugly landing pages with no website at all, with no business card, generate thousands of dollars simply because they showed up, and they showed up consistently. But we're going to do a deeper dive into how perfectionism can kill momentum, how your flaws can actually make you more relatable, and why your message is going to beat your makeup every time. Those are the 3 key points. So if you're taking notes, remember I suggested that you get your favorite cup of hydration, get your notepad, get your pen ready, like let's be ready. And if you're ready, go ahead and type in the word ready. I want to know who's ready right now for point number 1. So I'm going to pop that up and let's dive in. Okay. So point number one is perfectionism steals momentum, because we have to be real with ourselves. Look, perfectionism is like a momentum killer in a cute outfit, right? It's like it shows up and it pretends that it really wants to do well for us. It's giving us this vibe that it's like here to save us from ourselves. It's that little voice that is saying, no, you don't need to go live yet, girl. You need that new microphone. Wait a minute. You know what? Your background's not right. Perfectionism has robbed more content from me and from my clients than any lack of ideas or strategy ever has. I want to tell you a little bit of a story about a client who I actually recently had, some people call it a come to Jesus meeting with. we had definitely some words together. And here's what was happening. So look, she has this incredible, and when I say incredible, this guide that the world needs in this moment right now. The state of our mental health and well-being is at risk. And I'm talking about broadly. So I'm not picking on you or a particular person. I'm going to include myself in the mix. What she has to share as a mental health professional and a wellness coach is truly transformative. But here's what was happening. She was like, okay, and this is months ago when we first started talking about this. I've got this guide. I want to put it out there. I want to sell it. Okay, great. We want a price point. So I helped her work through that. As we were coaching together, she said, okay, so now I've been working on trying to use this landing page from this shopping cart thing that you told me to get, and I have it, but I haven't done anything with it. So that was roadblock number one. So we worked on that. We talked about setting it up. We are using something called ThriveCart because she didn't want to set up a whole different, website and all of that, which you easily in ThriveCart can do. You can do landing pages. You can do lead magnet pages if you want to, but it's an excellent shopping cart that centralizes everything. So she got that up and running, and she was like, oh my God, Tanya, with the tips and with everything you shared with me, I'm so excited I got this thing up and running. I said, okay, so are you ready to make a sale? Yes, but she didn't look fully confident. So then she paused for a minute. She said, but I want to kind of create this video, which I'm going, yes, internally. I'm like jumping for joy because we know we love video around here. I want to create this video, but I feel like I'm just not ready. Like my background isn't great. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to do it. She paused there and she just kind of shut down and got quiet. She did the ... You know how the trail off goes. If any of you work with clients, you know how you're talking to them and then they have the trail off. Yeah, and I think I'm ready for, right? And it just trails off and it's not a complete sentence. That was happening. And so I said, okay, let's talk about what do you think you need then? What do you think would make your video ready? Well, I just don't know where to do it. I'm not sure what to wear. I don't know if my mic is right, if my lighting, I'm just not. Now, mind you, we've been working together for some time. So I know in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, you have all those things. So finally, after I let her finish breathing it all out and talking about all the reasons why she couldn't do the video, I said, okay, so are you telling yourself the truth? Are all of these things true? Is this reality? Or is this false? Is this fear? False evidence appearing real, y'all. And as she listened and she absorbed the question I'm asking her, I said, you already have lighting. You look great right now. We're talking on this. You're on camera now. You look awesome. You can choose any room in your house. So here's the tip I gave her, which is what I'm going to give you, because ultimately she realized I have everything I need in this moment to get this thing done. So my challenge to her was this. In the next 48 hours, I want you to pick an hour, because she said, I don't know what to say. She also said that too. None of us have an excuse anymore for that. ChatGPT, Claude, all of the things. Most of us are using this stuff regularly, like every day for everything, to write recipes, to go on a trip. Why not leverage it to create your video script? So I convinced her to go ahead and upload your document, the PDF you're going to be using that you're selling, put it into your Claude, because that's what she loved to use. I asked her, which one do you love to use? Pick one. Claude. Upload it in there. And I want you to then direct it to create a script, 5 minutes or less, right? 5 minutes or less script, and give it criteria. Tell it, I want it to make sure that it points out the benefits of the content that I'm uploading. I want it to be in my voice, tone, and style, which she had already trained, right? I want it to be engaging. I want it to entice people and get them prepared and ready to click the buy button. So I want you to pick 1 hour to complete the script because it's less than 5 minutes. I want you in that same hour to get on your camera, use the prompter that you already have in the app you said you have, sit in any room you choose. It doesn't matter where. Yes, put on a shirt or something that is shoulders up or, waist up that makes you feel good. Do whatever you need to do with your makeup. You can keep it light. You don't have to overdo it. But get on your phone and record. And I said, I want you to do no more than 3 takes. Once you get to the 3rd take, that's it. I don't want you to look at it because by the 3rd take, in my experience, by the 3rd take, if you're reading from a script and you're doing it, of course, conversationally, you don't want it to look like you're reading, but you have already said the words you want to say. It's just a matter of you now self-denigrating. You're just telling yourself, I don't look good, I don't sound good, so I don't even want you to look at it. I want you to post the thing by the 3rd take. You can do all of that in 1 hour. You don't have to wait another 3 months. So I will report back to you all because she's reporting back to me tomorrow. You know who you are if you're watching tonight. That was the challenge. So here's the thing that I want you to get from this. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking, because what is happening is you're losing out. And not only you, because it's not just about you. It's the people that you're intending to serve who are missing out. The longer you wait to be perfect, the longer your people are waiting to be helped. And that one person that you missed because you chose not to put it out into the universe, right? That one person could have been saved just simply by consuming the content that you created and you delivered. So keep that in mind. It's not about you. It is about you, but it's also about the people that you're wanting to reach and to serve. Please think about that. You were called to a purpose, and part of that purpose gets to be shared through a venue such as video, right? People get to consume this in real time in this moment and to thrive off of what you're sharing because it is good. It's good and it's good enough. And everybody starts somewhere, y'all. So if you ever go back into my YouTube history and you look at some of my old videos and you see how horrible they were, it didn't matter. The fact was I kept showing up, which is going to lead me into point number 2 in just a second. But first, let me get some of these comments because I'm seeing stuff and I'm loving it. All right. I see some folks, you are going to make me cry. Dr. Stacy Moore, no, 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 no. And even if you do, let it be happy tears. That's what I hope for you. Facts. Perfectionism is bondage, says Alicia Jacobs. Alicia Jacobs. I hope I pronounced your name correctly and put some respect on that. So let me know if you need to correct me. Okay, let me look at some comments as well here that are in the feed. Let's see. Done is better than perfect. Dr. Dwayne Wood, I just love you so much. You know that. And of course you were ready from the get-go. Let's see. Your message is going to beat your makeup every time. Yes, we are getting ready to drop that bomb. That's bomb number 3 that's about to be dropped, Dr. Vibe. I love it. Dan Tana, what's up? The plant base. It's good to see you, Dan, in the house. I love it. I love it. Okay. I love ChatGPT. I know. So if you're using it already, why not leverage these tools that we have at our disposal? Why not leverage these tools to help us to get past these roadblocks that we've created for ourselves? And she knew she created it for herself, because when I asked that question, right? Face expectations and rise. I love that version too. What's up? Enrique Acosta Gonzalez. Hey, fam. Bless you as well. I just enjoy seeing you thrive. I've been seeing some of the stuff coming out of your feed and just loving it. It's not about you. It's about your community. Yes, sir. Look, y'all. So that's the first point that I wanted to make sure that we get across, because it is about your service, your voice getting out into the world, because somebody needs to hear what you have to share. Okay, let's get into point number 2. And I think I'm getting I'm going to have to turn on my little fan because I think I'm a little warm. Maybe it's because I'm just like, ugh, like this is good stuff. Okay, point 2, personal issues. Point 2, your flaws make you relatable. Your flaws make you relatable. I just want you to stew on that for a little bit. Because we are so concerned about not looking perfect. We're so concerned about having all the lights turn green before we pull out of the garage. We're so concerned that people might hear that we have background noise because our dogs are barking, or the mailman or the Amazon truck is ringing the doorbell again. We're so concerned about all of those things being perfect that we forget that we are human. And the fact is that your flaws and the things that you may see as flaws, honestly, are probably the things that endear people to you. I worked with a client once who had a little issue with one of her eyes. And the eye kind of turned inward. It was a medical condition. And she was just so concerned about doing video. She's like, I just don't want to do that because I don't want people judging. And I'm worried about it. And eventually, after we did some confidence building work and some self-esteem and branding work, she got on camera. And the more she got on camera, the more confident, because here's the thing, the more competent you become because you have consistency. So the more consistent you are, the more competent you become. The more competent you become, the more confidence you have. Like it's all working in tandem. It's all working together, right? And this little thing that she saw as a flaw, people recognized her right away wherever she was. And they're like, oh, I saw you on this video and I heard what you said. They weren't seeing it as a flaw. They saw it as a way to recognize who she was. Let me also share a personal story with you right now in this moment, within the last month, something that has been happening with me. And this is one of the reasons, besides the fact that we were heading into season 7, that I had to pause for a minute. I have lost 3 family members in the span of less than a month, actually. 3. And it's been hard, y'all. Like the first one, it was super hard for me to just move and to show up and to be present. But at the same time, because I did choose to show up and be present and stay in some form of a routine, it allowed me to have some reprieve from my thoughts and from the sorrow, right? And I know that's not always going to be the case, because sometimes you just need to take a break. And I've done that too, right? I've done that too. But it touched my heart last week when someone said, you know, with all that you're going through and you've shared, I still see you showing up and I still see you sharing. And I feel like I don't have an excuse. Your flaws make you relatable. Your flaws, it's okay. I don't mean that you need to talk about every personal thing that's ever happening to you, right? Right? But I do mean that perfect is polished and boring. And your audience, they don't want a robot. They want a real person to talk to. The messy moments, the behind the scenes chaos, that's where trust is getting built. This is where people learn to trust and believe you are who you say you are. When I tell you it's been a rough month, those aren't the only things that have happened. There's been some crazy stuff that's happened in 2025, but I keep showing up because I know that somebody needs to see me being consistent even through the hard stuff. So that right there, when you show up, in spite of the things that you feel like are flaws or too personal or too transparent, or maybe people are going to judge you, that's making an impact. It's connection. So I'm going to ask you this question. Think about your own self. When you're connecting with people on video, do you prefer to watch people who are super shiny polished? Or are you good with messy videos? And I can probably tell you the answer if I looked at what you look at on TikTok, on YouTube, etc., on those shorts, right? You're probably scrolling past some of the more structured videos. How do I know? Because I know myself, and I also look at the metrics. The ones that look like, hey, I just jumped on and I talked, often get much more views and clicks and likes and engagement than the ones that look like they're super pretty and polished. So trying to appear flawless on camera is like serving a picture perfect meal that has no seasoning. It might look impressive, but when people take a bite, they're disappointed. Your flaws are the flavor. That's the stuff that keeps people coming back. That's why I have so many OGs that show up on Thursdays when we go live. This is what I love, is this community, you being here, because I'm offering flavor, not flawlessness, right? It's in the little imperfections. It's in the laugh. It's in the honesty. It's in the way that you roll with the technical hiccups. That's your seasoning. That's your realness. When you leave that out in an effort to be so polished, it's like offering a beautiful plate that nobody wants seconds of. So bring the seasoning, bring the flavor, be yourself, because that's what's going to make your brand memorable, not just marketable. Same thing with your live streams, your video podcasts, all of the things that you're creating. When your audience sees that you're human, that sometimes you might miss a word or two, that your baby is walking in the frame. I've had guests on my show where their child just got out of the bath and ran across the screen like, hey, Dad, Dan. If you laugh at your own self, they relax. I've been on camera, and some of you know this who are in the comments. I'm about to pop up some of these comments. But some of you know I've been on lives where I've been muted for like 15 seconds and didn't know it. And you're like, hey, Tanya, like you're trying to tell me in the chat. And some of you are like texting me and sending me Facebook Messenger messages. You're muted, like we can't hear you. I don't freak out. I laugh it off like, oh, that was the best 15 seconds ever. You just missed all the good stuff in the 15 seconds. But I come back on, right? We've had whole entire live streams that have shut down because of a storm or who knows, just for no reason at all. But we still work through it. Your flaws, it's okay. It's okay. It's what makes you human. Let's pop in some comments. Let's see what other people are thinking about this. I love to see your comments in here. See, first of all, what's up, D? D is in the house. I love it. Thank you, Dr. Vibe. I appreciate you so much. I do. Coming through with the gems tonight. Put that on a t-shirt too. Look, okay, so James is always my reminder that I need to create more merch. Always bring the seasoning, bring the flavor. Yes. And if you're not laughing at yourself, probably someone is laughing at you. So just laugh at yourself. Yeah. I mean, I can't worry so much about people being concerned about things that make me real, right? You have to at some point get past that because you're going to reach the people that you're meant to reach. Those other people who don't fall into that category, they won't be there with you anyway. They'll point their finger, they'll judge, they'll laugh, and then they'll move on. That's fine. I call it right-sizing your audience. Right? You're right-sizing your audience. All right. And then I see some folks over on Substack saying, let's see what we got. We love you so much. I love you too, Dr. Stacy Moore. Your flaws are the flavor. Yes, they are. Absolutely. Okay, let's get into point number 3. And then we'll do some recapping. And of course, if you've got questions, if you've got comments, feel free to share them in the chat. I'm watching for you. Here's point number 3. This is our final point for tonight. Focus on the message, not the makeup. Focus on the message, not the makeup. We all love a good aesthetic. I mean, who doesn't appreciate clean lighting and a sharp camera? But let me ask you this. Would you rather get a diamond in a paper bag or would you rather get an empty Tiffany box? Think about it. The wrapping might catch attention, but the value is what keeps people coming back. Before every live stream, before every video, ask yourself, what's the pain point that I'm helping someone to solve? How am I helping someone solve something? Whether you're educating, entertaining, I've told you all the 5 objectives, right, of your live stream or your video podcast: education, entertainment, empathy, encouragement, right? We've talked about those things in the past. So no matter what, ask yourself, what is it that I'm helping someone to solve today? And if you can answer that question with clarity and be clear in your points that you're delivering in your on-camera presence, right? And whatever the presentation might be, it doesn't matter if your dog is barking midstream or if your ring light goes halfway through, it dies, right? Your audience is not going to remember all of that, but they will remember how you made them feel. Someone famous talked about that. I can't remember the exact quote, but I believe this. Your audience is not going to remember your lighting. They're not going to remember, well, they might remember your audio, because if they can't hear you, they won't know anything about what you're saying, right? But most importantly, they're going to remember how you made them feel. It's one of the reasons why I love doing these streams, because we get to have community. We get to, like, all the things that we're doing in the chat and the conversations that we're having. And some of you are lurking, but at the same time, you're thinking. You might not have put anything in the comments yet, but I know this from experience. Months down the road, weeks later, you'll come back and you'll put something in my comment and say, this really touched me and I wanted you to know how it changed this thing. Don't let the fear of imperfect visuals silence your powerful voice. Don't let that happen. Okay? Just don't. Every time you get up and you show up and you put yourself out there, no matter the lighting and all the other things, the fancy stuff doesn't matter. It truly is about you showing up, being consistent. And look, done beats perfect every time. It just does. It's done. You're never going to make a sale if you don't put that guide out there, right? And you don't have to go and buy a fancy dancy, go high level package in order to be able to sell something. Look, my client had a Thrive Cart package she paid one time for years ago and had never used it. All she needed was a little nudge on how to set it up. So I was able to give her that nudge and to help her to put things together. Once she got it out there, then there were other things that kept popping up. And that's why I had to ask her that question, like, is this real? Are these things, these roadblocks and these challenges, are they real? Because every time you come up with a win, you come back with something else that's a womp womp. Right? And we need to get past that. We want wins. We want wins. No more of that. So the next time, here's something else I shared with her that I'm going to share with you. The next time, and this is called monkey mind. Some people call it that. Subconscious mind. There's all these different terms. I'm a psychology major, y'all, right? And I've studied all of this over the years, and I continue to study. But there's a little thing on your shoulder. Just imagine this little cutesy. You can name him or her, whatever it is on your shoulder that's telling you, you're not ready yet. And as you're asking it, why am I not ready? And it's whispering to you and it's saying, because you don't have the right camera. Well, I do have a camera. I can just go live now. No, but what about your background? Yeah, you're right. When you give in, if you have to keep asking it, why should I not do this? That means you're listening to your monkey mind. You're listening to that being that's sitting on your shoulder. And so what I want you to do is physically do this. Physically, when you hear yourself and you're thinking these thoughts and you know it's sitting right there keeping you from doing what you're supposed to do, what I told her to do, and I'm going to tell you to do this too, is physically, I want you to take your finger like this, okay? And I want you to do this. Kick it off your shoulder. The physical act of you doing that, get rid of the thoughts that are holding you back, and then click go. Try it. Come back and tell me how it goes, because it's worked every single time I've taught anybody to do that. So your turn. Your turn. If you want to put an emoji into the chat, if this is resonating with you, I want you to either put a fire emoji, or I want you to find, there's several little monkeys that are in the emojis library. Pull any one of those. You could pull the one that's doing this, the one that's doing this, pop that into the chat. I want to see your emojis. If this is resonating with you, if you're hearing what I'm saying, it's time to get rid of that. It's time to get rid of that. Let me pop some comments up in here. Let's see. People don't care how much. Oh, flick off the shoulder. D said. Great, Jim. Thank you. Let's see. Dr. Vibe said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's it. It was Zig. Of course, it's Zig Ziglar. Rest in peace, Zig. Yes. I see the emojis coming through. Love it. Okay. So look, y'all, this is the thing. What I came here to share with you tonight, because it's the beginning of our season 7, and we're going to be focusing on the authenticity advantage, the advantage of you being real and genuine and yourself at all times. We're going to talk and do a deep dive into that topic over the next few weeks. So we've got 7 episodes total. Let me tell you, I can tell you what the next one's going to be for next week. So if you come back, we're going to be talking some more about this particular topic, because I think it's so important. We need to get past this idea of the perfection thing, but also we need to fully own who we are. And another thing we've been really talking about that I'm never going to let go is the idea of us being platform proof, to position yourself in such a way that you are an owner, not a renter of your own content. And in doing so, our next episode is called Messy Magic: How to Sell Without Polishing Your Personality. So that's going to be fun. We're going to talk about some sales techniques, and we're going to talk about doing it messy. Thank you for the congrats. Thank you for the congrats. Let me see. Congratulations on season 7. Thank you. Tech Troublemaker, thank you for reminding folks to hit that like button if you got any value from what we talked about tonight. That's the same over here on my Substack. On my Substack, I'm seeing all the fire emojis. Look, next time, y'all, I promise I will add I will add my Substack folks to the chat because I do have a way to do that. It just takes me a little extra, but it's not a big deal. I will do that for next time, I promise, because I want to showcase you as well and just tell you how much I thank you for being in that space as we're growing. We are now over 200 subscribers, which is pretty cool, right? So we're growing steadily. Alicia, I'm glad that you're looking forward to the entire season as well. Let's do our recap. It's time for us to quickly do our 60-second recap. And here we go. So the first point that we talked about tonight is that perfectionism steals momentum. Perfectionism steals momentum. It just slows you down. It keeps you from doing the things you are meant to do. You were born and purposed to do. It keeps the people who were meant to hear you and to consume your information. It keeps them from getting that information so that they can transform their life. The second point we talked about is that your flaws make you relatable. So it's okay to show up even when you're not at your best, right? Now, there are going to be times when you do need to take a break away. But then there's other times when it's okay for you to share your story, to tell your story so that other people see your transparency and they know that if you could make it through and still show up, they can too. And then the last one is that your message is greater than the makeup. It's not always about you looking flawless. Your message is more important. That's where I want you to focus, is on what is the value that I'm giving and delivering in this content that I'm sharing. How can I serve other people? What is it that I can offer in this moment like nobody else can? Only me. The message is better than the makeup. Look, if you start having things that mess with you like makeup, I want you to remember this. There are always shortcuts. Hair used to be a thing for me. Now, yes, I do like to get my hair done. Okay, my stylist, she's pretty sharp. She's good, right? But even if it's not done, I keep a baseball cap under my desk because I know for me that was one of those things, a roadblock I needed to get over. So find ways to get past those roadblocks that are holding you back from doing the thing. If makeup is your thing and it's holding you back, I want you to find a quick and easy way, a quick and dirty way to put some on. Keep that under your desk. Keep a mirror there, a lit mirror that you can pull up and put on your desk so that whenever you're ready to go and do that video and you got that message and it's like sitting right here and it's ready to come out, all you got to do is just quickly do what you need to do. Whatever it is for you that's holding you back, find a fix. Find a fix. Shortcut it. All righty, folks. Yes, thank you, Dee. She said, cool way to recap the gems and the takeaways. And Dr. Vibe said that this episode is landing at the right time. I've been praying about hosting a solo show where I'd be sharing about various cultural and society topics. This is giving me clarity. Awesome. I believe that there is a way for you to do anything you want to do. I used to have people that would say things like, well, you really need to have guests, which I've had guests, right? And I do have an interview show. I have an interview show that I do called Midlife Unmuted that's about to be released. And prior to this past year, I was doing guest interviews regularly. But at some point, I realized that I wanted to do a solo show to really be able to deliver with impact what I have learned in the 20 years that I've been coaching. And it's a lot. And I'm willing and ready to share it. So I will see you all next week. We will be back for episode 2 of season 7, talking about messy magic. And I am thrilled to be able to deliver that message to you. If you do have topics that you want to learn about, if you have questions, one of the things that is on my vision board is that I do want to have an Ask Me Anything segment be a part of this show. So what I'm working on is creating a space for you to be able to simply ask a question, put it into a space, right? You can send it to me by email, put it in Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn, wherever, right? But I want to get your questions, and that way I can spotlight you and your question in a segment on this show. So I don't have the thing set up, but it's not perfect, but you can send me something because there's all kinds of ways to find me. And if you haven't yet to subscribe, then here's a way for you to find out when everything is happening. Streamlikeaboss.tv, subscribe. You can find us there. And if you haven't already liked, followed, and shared this video, if you've got something out of it, somebody else may get something from it too. Be sure to do that. All right. I do see a question asking, have I written my book yet? I have written a couple of books. I've actually been a collab on a career coaching book early on in my career. And I wrote a book that I never put out into the world because I knew it wasn't the right one. I'm working on a book now called Livestream to Limitless. So very excited about that. It will come out before the end of the year. I've had to push it back just because of some things that have thrown us for a loop this year, as I mentioned. But it's coming. And look, Dee, launched a podcast. Dee Bowden launched her podcast, and she launched a book called Collect the Cash. And she continues to grow and to get her message out with that. So thank you for sharing and reminding us of that, Dee. Okay, folks. Thanks once again for coming through and for hanging out. I love what you're sharing in the comments and in the chat. And if I missed a thing, if I missed something, I will go back and check it out. If you're watching via replay, type in #replay so I can make sure to come and acknowledge you. But I just appreciate you so much. Thank you for giving me the time and the platform to be able to recover from the things that have been going on, because this is my way of recovering. This is balm for me, as it might be for you. Okay. That's it, folks. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of the week. And I will see you next time in the stream.